how does REDCOM help Sheldon Gross Realty?
REDCOM has, through the years, been one of the best tools in my toolbox. You know, we all wake up every day, we go to work, and we have certain, tools at our disposal to make business happen for ourselves. And I can tell you that REDCOM is the tool that I rely on most whenever I have a project that is more complicated than the just run-of-the-mill lease or a purchase where there's some severe, some real serious due diligence that needs to go on. I can rely on REDCOM to show up, get the answers, or even create the questions that no one's asked to make sure that the business that my clients are going after are safe, reasonable, and sound.
That's great. That's great to hear. Thank you. So we have a lot of resources here at our disposal. We have in-house engineers that can help your clients that are looking for land determine what can actually be built on the land before they're committed to the contract. We have architects that can tell them what they could design on that site. Or if it's a building, an existing building that needs to be rehabbed, we can also tell your clients if they can expand the building and what the renovation costs could be before they're financially committed to the site. And it'll help them speed their process up by doing this.
Yeah, and I think one of the best values that you bring to the table when I've used those services in the past is that you're very quick, you're very responsive, and you're very transparent. A lot of times people will get information and they wonder what the trick is and the hook. You lay it all out very systematically, clear, shows all the costs, even your costs, which I appreciate, that they can make an intelligent decision for themselves.
Right. Yeah, there really isn't a trick. It's not, we don't try to trick people, we try to just educate people. Making a purchase, a land purchase, or investing in a building is a huge commitment by the investor and by their team. It has to be a well thought out decision, and you need to be well informed before they can move forward.
Probably 10 years ago, I introduced REDCOM to a client that owned a piece of land and they built a building, and to this day on Lake Drive, coastal insulation is in there, and that is a timeless building. And it's with great satisfaction when I tell people, oh, you want to know what REDCOM does? Go drive down Lake Drive at the end of the cul-de-sac and look at that building, and nobody comes away and goes, well, I don't know if I'd build myself a building like that. Everyone goes away and say, I want a building like that, and it's just a matter of them making the numbers work to see if they could build such a building that is timeless and it's the best functional building that you can see.
Yeah, coastal insulation was before my time, but it is a nice project, and we still talk with those clients. Yeah, the feasibility study is something that we do for brokers, for yourself. We really take a hard look at the blackened lot. We have our engineers, our site civil engineers, check the zoning, check the planning areas. They look at the New Jersey Geo website. They check the historical preservation, the landscape, the water. They take an aerial map of the site. They go through, they identify the surrounding areas, the main arteries, the main roadways that go through the area. They take a look at the tax map with the whole idea of giving it to you so you can help your client make a decision on whether or not they want to move forward with the project. And we get this done in 4 to 5 hours worth of work, and we get it done. And after you go through this feasibility study, you and your prospect will really have a better understanding of what the permitted principal uses are, what the accessory uses are, and what you can put on the site. For example, if it's a 5-acre site and you want to build a 60,000 square foot building, well, can you actually do that? Can you accomplish that? And then once we have that information, we can give you a ballpark idea of what the costs are going to be.
Yeah. And I always tie that information into the true value of the land.
Right.
Because every piece of land can be utilized in a number of different ways, but if you adhere to the zoning and you don't have to go through all the different planning board meetings to rezone it or this and that, you could zero in on the correct use, calculate the maximum square footage, and once you do that, it gives us that real sweet spot for the right price and the value of the land.
Right.
So I really appreciate when you did that for us.
Yeah, it's our pleasure to help you with this. Once the feasibility study is done, then what we would really do, we'd have a rough concept done at this point, but the next step would be to do a really thorough concept on what you can actually build on the land, or what can be added to an existing building. That'll take us anywhere from 40 to 60 hours worth of work. But after you read this, after you go through whatever other information you have about the site, if your prospect wants to move forward, with an offer, that would be the next step. That would fast track the project and save them time from the due diligence period, because I'm sure they get 30, 60, or 90 days of due diligence to get this, to make a decision on whether or not they want to go hard with their money. And we can get these answers done in a week or two for them, and I think it'll save them a lot of angst.
I've done numerous deals with REDCOM, and I can tell you that after each deal, every one of those clients that chose REDCOM to do a project go into the REDCOM book of referrals and accolades. I don't have anybody that's ever used REDCOM and says I'll never use them again. They have nothing but great things to say about the team at REDCOM, and it's not risky as a real estate broker to bring my clients to REDCOM to get a deal done. I kept thinking about relationships, what we do every day, and the people we use to help us get good business done. And whenever I bring you into a deal, I know that the information is going to be timely, real, cost effective, and that I wouldn't get that kind of service from another competitor of yours.
Right.
And you have a great track record, and I really appreciate working with you. I mean, it's always great, and all of my clients, you never embarrass me in front of the client.
Well, thank you.
And that to me is worth a lot.
Well, and likewise, I mean, you guys always do a great job. You and your team, Matt, and your other colleagues and associates, they do a great job too. And I think we do make a good team. And our interests are both aligned. We want to do what's right for the client.
Correct.
And even that's really what the goal is, to do what's right for the client, and educate them so they can make a buying decision. So I look forward to doing more deals with you.
Me as well.
Right.